Louisiana. She's the exception and never the rule. She's a mystery that asks not to be solved, but simply to be experienced. Louisiana, where you can come as you are and leave different.
Whether you're planning a Louisiana convention, family reunion, or a southern vacation, the Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus connects you to information sources throughout the state. The Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus. The Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau welcomes you and yours to Baton Rouge, Louisiana's state capital. From the old governor's mansion to fabulous dining and Zydeco dancing, Baton Rouge, authentic Louisiana at every turn.
Popeye's Chicken and Biscuits, featuring Cajun-style chicken, red beans and rice, and buttermilk biscuits, all flavored by the memories and imaginations of Louisiana chefs. Popeye's Chicken and Biscuits, committed to preserving Louisiana's flavor heritage.
Here in Louisiana, we have a saying, we don't eat to live, we live to eat. And y'all, that could have a double meaning. In every bayou village and home we visited, we found one thing to be true. Although all of our dishes taste great, they're not all good for us. So my mission today is to take our time-honored recipes and make them a little healthier for us. I'm Chef John Folse. Welcome to Louisiana Cooking with a Change of Heart. Hey! How you doing? Nice to see you. How are you? Hey, Doug. Hey. You doing all right, man? Nice to see you. Hey, Steve. Good. Hey, y'all, welcome. Welcome to my home kitchen. Y'all sound fantastic in here today. Y'all say hello to Doug Guerin, because Doug is from Morgan City, Louisiana, and it was his recipe, a traditional recipe that goes back. How long have you been cooking melatone?
It's hard to guess. Right now, I'd say quite a few years.
And of course, probably in your family, that melatone has gone back. Yeah. Y'all, I'm going to tell you what melatone is in just a second, but my challenge here today is to take his time-honored recipe, the one with all of the great things in it, the fat, the sodium, the more fat, all the things that are great tasting, and modify it just a little bit, but I can't change the flavor. But you're going to have to be the judge, okay? You're going to have to be the judge of that. So, y'all, I actually went to Morgan City, Louisiana, a fantastic town toward the Gulf of Mexico, and took a private lesson from this master in not only how to grow a garden, but how to cook melatone. So why don't y'all join us, and you'll see what I learned. We had a great time that day, I'm sure. Doug, I knew good and well I'd find you back here in the melatone garden.
How you doing, buddy? All right, nice to see you again.
Man, you looking terrific.
I feel good, man. I
see the melatone is starting to climb up the trellis here.
It's melatone time this year.
In Cajun country, homes are built around food. Boy, look at that bay tree. How old is this thing anyway?
It's between 15 and 20 years old.
Doug Guerin from Morgan City, Louisiana is the consummate Cajun. Everything in his yard has to do with food, whether it's melatones that grow in the garden or cooking equipment that he has scattered on the patio. What's this contraption?
That's my pork cheese cooker.
Yeah? Well, y'all, it didn't take long to realize Doug was serious about his cooking. This is where he makes his hogshead cheese and fries fish for the family. This discarded unit from a local restaurant was a real treasure. He turned it into a smoker, and this is where he smoked his undoing smoked sausage. Boy, I tell you, I hope I'm on his Christmas list. As we rounded the corner, we ran into, well, I didn't have a clue what it was. This is Doug's own invention, a vertical cooker. It revolves once every minute. In this, he cooks brisket, chickens by the flock, or a whole hog in 7 hours. But y'all, I thought the tour was finished. It was just beginning. And y'all, how many of you have an office decorated with a meat saw, a food chopper, a meat grinder, a sausage stuffer, and seasonings by the pound? Y'all, only in Cajun country. But the best treat, y'all, was in the oven in Doug's kitchen, his Cajun-style stuffed melatone. Doug says this recipe is from the male side of the family, but that isn't unusual. In Louisiana, men are often as good a cook as their wives, sometimes even better. Well, I'm not going to get into all of that. All I know is that his stuffed melatone was fantastic. Doug belongs to a local country club. When he and a bunch of his friends go out to play golf and get caught in the rain, well, they're never disappointed. They just go to the clubhouse and start to cook. Doug, what are you looking for down there, huh? Doug's hunting all over the floor down there.
Yeah.
You didn't drop a tomato,
I dropped it again. This monitor, whatever you call it, yeah.
Doug, you know, I don't think, now look, I've been to a lot of good cooks' homes in Louisiana. You know, cooks like to hang out together. But I've never been to a home that had more cooking equipment, and most of it homemade, right? I mean, you actually designed,
Homemade,
huh?
yeah.
You designed most of it yourself. That
The pit that was just shown, I designed that.
Yeah.
And the cooker you said I got from a restaurant.
supply house there?
Well, I redesigned it because
Right.
it was just a warmer, and I made a cook out of it.
Now, Doug, I know you have your son, Doug Jr., sitting here, but any possibility of me being in the will for that cooker? Huh?
I hardly believe that, man. They're standing in line right now.
They're already in line. Oh,
Yeah.
well, maybe I want to talk, I'm going to talk, my banker's sitting right in the front row here. Look,
is that right?
yeah, meet Steve Valdez, y'all, right here, Steve Valdez. And sitting right next to Steve is Fred Cable. Cable or Cobble, huh? Coble. Hey, I was wrong on three counts.
maybe-
Nice to have you, Fred. Hey, Fred.
Maybe him and I might come to some kind of negotiation.
No, maybe
you know,
he and I will come to negotiation. We'll come to see you to build
okay.
cookers.
All right.
Anyway, it's so nice to have you. Now, y'all, this guy told me his garden was so beautiful. He told me that neighbors say if he plants a clothespin, 2 clothesline poles will come up out of the ground. I believe
They're
it.
close to being true.
Well, you sent me a fantastic recipe. I mean, a great recipe from melatone. Now, I'm sure most people out there might not know what melatone is. Melatone, y'all, chayote squash, that famous squash that came to Louisiana in the 1760s with the Spanish, the Los Islenos, the islanders from the Canary Islands who brought that melatone with them to Louisiana. It started to grow wild in the swamps of Louisiana. The Native American Indians referred to it as alligator pear. And I have a whole bunch of them here because today it's our premier vegetable. And I know your melatone vine, I saw it just starting to grow. How many melatone you get off of that thing in a year?
Do you remember seeing the arbor?
Yeah, sure.
It's all covered now, and they're just hanging down there by.
So you'll probably get a
Bunches.
few hundred off of that this year.
Oh, quite more than a wheelbarrow full, I'll tell you. Maybe
Well, hey,
2
remember
wheelbarrows.
my address.
I do. I will.
Y'all, let me introduce Rex here because Rex is not only my lead cameraman, he's my sous chef up here. He's going to be stirring the pot with the camera. So y'all say hello to Rex, huh? Hey! Y'all, let me show you what we have here. This is the famous melatone or chayote squash of Louisiana. And it's really, very hard. It's like an apple, so we cut it in half. There's a seed right in the middle. And when we were young Cajuns living in the swamps of Louisiana, we actually dried in the sun these seeds and salted them as you would any kind of nice sunflower seeds or peanuts. This was our peanuts back then. We take this and boil it in lightly salted water. And Rex, you see when it comes out of the boiling pot, it's nice and tender. The seed will come right out like this, and then it's nice and tender. And then we take them and we scoop out the meat, just like that, and you see that big bowl of meat right here? This is what we're going to make the stuffing with. Now we're going to add to this, look at all this other great stuff. 2 or 3 different kinds of crab meats. I have the white crab meat, the claw, which is the most flavorful, and then the jumbo lump, the pearls of Bayou Country. Taste that, right? So, all right, okay. And then look at the meats here, y'all. I have ground pork. That's what we normally stuff it with, but there's a lot of fat here. I'm going to stuff it with a little ground turkey and very lean beef, 6% fat in the beef, as well as a little turkey ham and turkey sausage. And Rex, did you see all these other squash here? Oh, look at here. Melatone is the premier, but this is the white squash. We call this the Cajun squash. It's a white patty pan. Of course, the little yellow crookneck, the zucchini. Look at this zucchini. Hey, Doug, this one must have stayed on the vine too long, huh?
It's possible. You stick your fingernail in it, and if it goes in, it's still tender enough.
I'll tell you
to
what,
cook.
I'd eat it tough. I'd eat it tough. Let me show you how we're going to cook this, y'all. I'll tell you, that's a beautiful platter over there. Rex, look what I did here. You always have to start browning your meat first. And you see, this right here is the turkey. I've browned it in just 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Just a little bit. I've cut the fat already by taking out a lot of the fat in the meat as well as a lot of the fat in the saute. So I'm going to stir this around to blend them together, y'all. And once they come together nicely, of course, nobody's going to know that this isn't ground pork with all the fat, because I'm going to pile on the good things, y'all, all of the great stuff in here. In fact, I'm going to pile on what I call the rough stuff. The rough stuff, all the good vegetables in our cooking. This is the onions, the celery, of course. You put onions and celery and all that in yours. Bell peppers, too? Not only bell peppers. Oh, look here, I'm putting different color bell peppers because I know how good yours tastes. I'm going to make mine prettier.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. People eat with their eyes first, so I'm going to try to get a jump on you, huh?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stir that around. Oh, boy, I tell you. Now, you know, we've had a debate going here in the kitchen. I asked people, why do we call this the Trinity in Louisiana? Onion, celery, bell pepper. I didn't want people to think we were sacrilegious when we talk about the Trinity in cooking, but in fact, some people said, well, I tell you what, it's omnipresent in our cooking. And I said, yeah, well, that's pretty good. Somebody else said, no, it's because we worship food. That's why. That's why.
That's part of the ingredients is just like roux in a gumbo.
No, absolutely.
You got to start with a roux.
No, absolutely. Now, y'all look at here, garlic. You like a lot of garlic. I like a lot. Y'all like a lot of garlic, huh?
Yeah.
You know, y'all gluttons for garlic. Louisianians love garlic, but it is. It's one of our premier flavors, so we're going to put that in there as well. Now, Doug, did you put a little seafood in yours?
Oh, yeah.
You put shrimp in yours,
I got
right?
shrimp, crawfish, and crab meat.
Oh, yeah. I got shrimp in mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And once again, you have crab meat and crawfish.
Right.
I'm not eliminating anything, y'all. You see the beautiful crawfish of Louisiana. What crab meat you put in? The white? The claw?
The claw and the lump.
You put the claw, the lump. See, y'all, I got to jump on him. I got one extra crab meat here. There's the lump right there. The lump's going to go in. Normally, I hold the lump till last so it don't break up too bad, but for demonstration purposes here, I think you get the idea. I'm going to, the flavors in this pot. Steve, you have to go to the bank to make a loan to cook this dish. So once all that's in, y'all, now my meats. I have my really nice turkey sausage, nice and lean, because Louisianians love smoking that cooking. So I'm going to put in the sausage. I'm going to put the lean ham. Look how lean that ham is. And again, I'm not taking out of this dish anything that's really good tasting in Louisiana. In fact, I'm piling on the good stuff here. And I'm going to saute that around again for a couple of minutes. Now, the Rotel tomatoes. I'm using a hot and spicy tomato. You can use regular tomatoes and just throw some jalapenos in with it. It's really nice. Y'all, since I'm using olive oil, ground turkey, lean beef, lean ham, 60% less fat already in this pot. 60% less fat. Now, I have all of this sauteing. Looks pretty good so far, huh?
Looks good.
Looks good. Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah,
huh?
it's getting there.
You're not worried yet. You're not worried yet, though.
Yeah, but there's something you left out, and I'll tell you about it later.
Okay, I'll let... Well, let's see. It might be some green onions, maybe.
Chicken stock.
Hold on. Doug says he think I left out chicken stock, y'all. Here's some green onions. Here's some parsley. Look at it and weep.
Oh, my God.
Look at it and weep, Doug.
I got it.
Hey, Doug Jr., give him a hug. I tell you, give him a hug. There you go. Give him a big one. There's chicken stock, defatted, low salt. Defatted, low salt in this dish right here. And of course, you're right, Doug. The chicken stock is what's going to marry all of these wonderful flavors together right here. I would bring this to a nice simmer. I'd bring it to a boil first, reduce it to simmer. Now, y'all, I'm going to put in a little salt substitute. Now, when you cook with salt substitute, always add a little bit more to the finished dish because you want that extra salt flavor right on top. Now, pepper. Of course, remember, I have that spicy tomato in here with the jalapenos. It just depends how much spice you like. I like a lot of pepper. I don't like so much pepper that you can't taste the dish,
Don't
but I
ask
like
him
pepper.
about that.
You like a lot of pepper?
No. I'm talking about cooking with it.
Okay, herbs, Doug. You put any herbs in yours?
Yeah.
I know you got a beautiful herb garden. I'm using a little thyme and basil, the two most important herbs in Louisiana's Creole cooking. So I'm going to put that in. Now, y'all, as I say, let this marry together well. It's going to take about 30 minutes to cook together. Then I'm going to add the meat. You watch the pot. Stir the pot for me, Doug. Rex, stir the pot for me right there. Stir the pot. Don't let it stick. Don't let it stick. Okay, y'all, now I'm going to put in the melatone. Oh, look at the melatone. That's what I took out of the shell right there. You see that, how nice that is. Now, let all of this come together, and once it cooks for about, oh, I'd say 30, 40 minutes, let's say, I'm going to let you see what this looks like. It kind of cooks all down like this. The only thing I'm going to add, Rex, I'm going to add a little egg substitute to hold it together. Instead of whole eggs, which has 5 grams of fat in every yolk, this is 0 grams of fat. This is egg white with just a little yellow food coloring. I'm going to add in a little breadcrumbs. Oh yeah, just a little breadcrumbs to tighten it all up. And then some of this reduced fat cheese. So all the things are going to, all the flavors are really great there. Now let me show you this. You're really close to me here, Rex. I'm going to stuff this little bad boy for you. You ready? I'm going to stuff it right there. Take my little spoon. See what I do? I just take the stuffing after it's chilled, and I stuff it in here. I bake it about 350 degrees, and I have a platter of them over there. You ready to go look at them? I bet you are. You're always hungry. Huh? Take a look at them right here, y'all. These are just fantastic right here. And of course, isn't that nice? Come on, out of here. Huh? All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Can't wait to try.
Let me try.
Y'all, let me show you Doug's, because they are just beautiful as well. See how nice those are right there? Just fantastic. And of course, he has the breadcrumbs on them. You can see the crawfish in them, and they're really nice. I'm going to give these back to you. Save them for me, and I'm going to eat them later. And taste that one right there. And you know what I want, Steve? You have some plates right there. Why don't you pass a few of those back through the audience? Don't you hog them either.
Oh, just a few.
Yeah, pass a few of them back to the audience right there. It's going to be now, what's that other plate you have right there, Doug? Is that, what is that, pork cheese you said?
Pork cheese.
Tell me about, oh, no, you got a mouthful of food. Go ahead. Tell me about that.
What do you want to know about?
Well,
I can't give you the recipe.
What do you mean you can't give me the recipe? You see, y'all, that's the problem in Louisiana. You can't ever get a recipe from anybody.
You know, like those baked beans?
Yeah?
Only the dog knows the recipe. He's not dog.
I'll buy that. Y'all, have you ever had a great oyster pie? One of the wonderful oyster pies of Louisiana. These were traditional dishes served at Christmas time in Louisiana. So during the holidays, we always served oyster pie, but you also found them as a daily meal in oyster country, where, especially around the Gulf of Mexico, where we did a lot of oyster fishing. Let me show you what we have here on our oyster tray. First of all, you can see all of the oysters in the shell here. This is the oysters on the half shell, and these have been just cracked open. Normally, Rex, we serve them with a little bit of hot sauce. See that? Oh, just a little hot sauce on them. But look in this gallon here, Rex. I have a full gallon of oysters in their own liquid. This is the liquid right out of the shell. And as if this isn't good enough, look, I even have oyster mushrooms here. These mushrooms, the early Cajuns would fry in cornmeal and make a sandwich with it. This was actually tasted like oysters. These are the wild mushrooms out of the swamp. And look at my pie. I took all of these ingredients and created an oyster pie. I'm going to show you how to make this right now. This is ready to go into the oven. So come right back here, Rex, and we're going to show everybody how to do it. How's that melatone?
Delicious. Really good.
Let me hear something, huh?
Good.
Okay, well, that's what I want to hear. Thank you. That's what I want to hear. Yeah. Okay, y'all, the oyster pie, let me show you how we begin. Of course, light margarine. Light margarine is 50% water, 50% fat. So when you put it in the pot, immediately it's going to start to evaporate. So to stop all of your butter or your margarine from becoming 50% less volume, you stop the cooking by putting in onions, celery, bell pepper, that trinity. It is omnipresent, see? It's in every one of our dishes, onion, celery, and of course, here's those. Do you grow any colored bell peppers?
Yes, I do that too. I didn't this year, but I usually do.
Yeah.
They don't seem to develop as good as the regular bell peppers.
Well, you know, the reason they're so expensive, because the farmer, every bell pepper has to go from green to color. Yeah. So they have to keep them on the vine, and they have to make sure that they stay without disease-free and all of that, so you have to pay more money for them. Now, Doug, I hate to ask, but what's that contraption you had? Rex, Rex, shoot this thing here. I'm afraid of that thing. Tell me what that is.
That's a homemade injection needle.
Yeah.
And also a seasoning injector. You know, it's used for like when you do a cochon de lait.
Oh, yeah, so you fill that up with all these...
Instead of taking a brush and brushing the pig, I just spray it like a paint gun. You know, it just, you don't have to touch the product. It just keeps turning around.
So you fill that up with all the necessary seasonings, like a bottle of beer and
my dressing, and then I'll filter it. You have to blend it. You have to blend it and filter it through a screen.
Shoot it, then just inject it into hams or anything. But I tell you what, I hope I'm in the wheel. That's all I can tell you. Hey, we need to talk, brother.
Let's get together.
Okay, y'all.
Restaurant I like to go to.
Look, no problem. We can work trade out, Steve. You don't mind? We'll work trade out. Hey, I got financing possibilities. There's my garlic again, y'all, in my oyster pie. I'm throwing that in there. Now I have all of my seasonings, again, with a little light margarine. And y'all, the fact that I'm using a lot of light margarine here, and right here, the magic ingredient, oilless roux. In Louisiana, to make brown oyster stews, we normally begin with a cup of oil and a cup of flour. We cook it to 385 degrees until it gets golden brown. I've eliminated all of that oil by using the oilless roux. I toasted flour at 375 degrees in the oven, and the minute it hits the pot, you can see how dark brown it gets, and I get my wonderful dark brown color that we like from the roux, plus our toasted flour flavor, which is essential in all Cajun dishes. Now, once that's in, remember, Rex, I told everybody a minute ago about oyster liquid?
That's liquor.
Doug.
Oyster liquor.
This is the real thing, this oyster liquor.
Yeah.
Or liquid, where I come from.
Yeah, we call it oyster liquor.
Yeah, y'all drink a lot more where you from than where I'm from, huh?
You got that right.
Oh, y'all, pure nectar from the oyster shells right here. Pure nectar from the oyster shells. You know they say the nearer the bone, the sweeter the meat? Well, hey, you have some real sweet meat right here. So now that that's all in the pot with the oyster liquid, the roux or the brown flour will pick up that flavor right there. It'll thicken the sauce. I'm going to add to that. Look at here. Oh, look at the fresh oysters. Y'all can smell that roux? This is the fresh oysters. They need to cook. And you know, a lot of people are afraid of eating raw oysters, but of course, cooked oysters are perfect for everybody. So don't be afraid of cooking oysters and using them. In Louisiana, we love them. A little onions, green onions, a little parsley, herbs, again, in this dish. And then, of course, y'all season it any way you would like. I like to put a little salt substitute, a lot of pepper into the dish. I'll crack a little bit in there now. And then, y'all, let me show you what it looks like when it's all done. I'd cook this for about 40 minutes. And, Rex, take a look at this. It's cold because I'm going to put it in a pastry. Now, you saw the full pie shell I made a minute ago. Watch this. I'm going to put it right in this pie shell next to you here. I'm going to put it right there. Now, this pie shell is made with egg substitute, evaporated skimmed milk, and, of course, low-fat margarine. So it is about 75% fat-free. A little egg substitute wash here, and that'll make my little pie seal nicely. You see that, Steve? Huh? See that? Pretty nice, huh? Look, this lesson is worth something. Then you crimp it like that, and y'all take a look at the pie right there next to you once it goes in the oven, 350 degrees. Look right behind you there, Rex. Look at that beautiful pie. That's the oyster pies. That's nice and toasted. They're fantastic. And y'all take a look right over here. A couple of other great dishes to serve with oyster pies and, of course, stuffed mirliton. Oh, look at here. Steve, I tell you, this is made for you. Orange pan perdue, y'all. Orange lost bread, a great breakfast dish. We made that with egg substitute, evaporated skim milk, light margarine. We put a lot of orange juice in it. And y'all, 60% less fat, 99% cholesterol free there. And then the next dish, kids love macaroni and cheese. We all grew up on macaroni and cheese. So what I've done here is to create a low fat, because children need to start early on some of these reduced fats on modified dishes. I used evaporated skim milk in here, egg substitute, light margarine, and reduced fat cheese, y'all. 80% less fat in this dish. Cholesterol, 80% less cholesterol as well. So you can see, I'd like to, just ask one simple question of all of you. You can eat the pies. You can eat the beautiful pan perdue. This is the lost bread you have for breakfast every day. You can eat these wonderful melitons, similar to the ones Doug did, that I'm sure are fantastic. Y'all, who says mama's cooking can't be healthy? That's what I'd like to know, huh? Anybody, huh? Hey, bring it on. Thank y'all so much. Hey. right in the middle. Or you can take a big one if you want to. Here you go, Chris. Pass those back over. Now pass those back. There you go. Pass those through the audience.
Louisiana. She's the exception and never the rule. She's a mystery that asks not to be solved, but simply to be experienced. Louisiana, where you can come as you are and leave different.
Whether you're planning a Louisiana convention, family reunion, or a southern vacation, the Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus connects you to information sources throughout the state. The Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus. The Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau welcomes you and yours to Baton Rouge, Louisiana's state capital. From the old governor's mansion to fabulous dining and Zydeco dancing, Baton Rouge, authentic Louisiana at every turn.
Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits, featuring Cajun-style chicken, red beans and rice, and buttermilk biscuits, all flavored by the memories and imaginations of Louisiana chefs. Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits, committed to preserving Louisiana's flavor heritage.
Something old and something new, Louisiana Cooking with a Change of Heart, is available for $29.95. This companion book to the television series features over 150 recipes. To order, please call 1-800-973-7246 or send check or money order to the address shown on your screen.
A Taste of Louisiana, Louisiana Cooking with a Change of Heart, is available for $19.95. This VHS video contains one episode of Chef John Folse's new television series. Please send check or money order to the address on your screen and mention the show number with your order.